Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to the Chalky Hazard podcast week 73. For those watching live, we are 5 minutes early. It's unheard of, but we're gonna get as much in as we can because we've all got to leave and do things. So we're gonna go. RDT obviously isn't even here, but my other usual co-hosts are with Nos over there.
Hey, it's me.
Josh down there.
Hello, I'm in a new location again.
And then Hammer is in the booth as well, our producer.
Hello.
So you are in a new location. Why? Explain yourself. This is like the 15th different location that you've been in for this podcast.
Yeah, I swear this isn't planned. And most of the time, when I'm traveling to the place, then you're like, "Hey, are we doing a podcast this weekend?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, I was just having a house party with friends in Germany. That's all, really. Nothing too crazy.
This is his second house, by the way. He's bought a second house. So he
Yeah.
has one in Germany now.
Yeah. No, not my house. I don't know what you can actually see in the background. There's an N64 thing on the wall there. There's some cables. I think someone said there's a German football flag behind me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm in the bedroom because it was the quietest place.
I see the paper towel rolls on the bed. That's a good call.
Oh yeah, that's a good sign. Yeah.
You're here, there, and everywhere lately.
Yeah, I do seem to be traveling an awful lot. I don't know what is... Well, I mean, some of it is obviously girlfriend who lives in a different country, but not all of it. I also just have been traveling around tons recently. I'm not really sure why this has happened. But yeah, I am. I'm more often not home than home at the moment.
Someone is going to have to go back through all the podcasts and count up the different locations for each of us and give us a number. And you've been on the podcast the least in terms of total number of weeks, and I bet you have the most.
Yeah, I must do.
Oh, there's no
doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are just like different rooms in the same house that I've been in, but
still counts.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna do a quick one because Nos needs to go to work. RDT's not here. Josh is at a house party. So the first thing that I'm curious about, Nos. You've had things happen to you in the last month.
I have had things happen to me.
I want to hear about it.
You do. Okay. Yeah, I had my vasectomy. It's great. It's fantastic. I will evangelize and proselytize for how amazing vasectomies are for the next, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes here on the podcast. So get ready. Do you want to actually know about like the whole procedure, or what? Like, do you want to know everything, or do you just want me to tell you that like I had my balls cut open? Like, what are you looking for here?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of
do you want?
I didn't really think about it when I started asking, and now I'm kind of regretting the entire line of questioning. I don't know how much detail I want.
I mean, I'm not going to be graphic. Jesus, like,
give us all the details. How your experience was.
Okay, so anyway, so I got a referral from my primary care to a urologist. Had the consultation with the urologist. He was really cool. I wish I could tell you his name. Actually, I'm going to type his name on the document so that you guys know, but I don't completely dox myself.
Okay. Is there so we shouldn't say it, but is there a reason?
Yeah, don't say it.
It starts with doctor. Whoa.
Yes.
Wait, is that really his name?
I swear to you it is.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So he comes in, he pulls out the stool, he's like, "All right, bud, you ready? You sure about this?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And I was ready to like give him a 50-minute long dissertation on the quality of my decision. He's like, "Well, alrighty."
So different from the female experience of the same thing. Yeah,
exactly. It is very different from the female experience, which is tragic, and also, given the circumstances, why it should be more centered around men in terms of who has the responsibility of birth control, in my opinion. But, I don't want to politically grandstand too much. So anyway, he examined me and was like, "Oh yeah, this will be fine. It's no problem." So Because do y'all know what the procedure like entails at all, or do I need to explain that? Or
don't know, honestly.
really? Okay.
I don't know what they actually do. Like, do they fully snip it so it's not reversible, or do they like?
Yeah. So vasectomies are meant to be seen as a permanent form of birth control, right? You can get them reversed, but a lot of things factor into how likely it is that you can get it reversed. Mainly the amount of time that it's been, and essentially how the doctor kind of closed up what he did, right?
Okay.
So a vasectomy consists of so you have your testes, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you have tubes going through like from your testes up at everything else, right? And the majority of and here I'm gonna use terms here, and you're gonna
Diagrams,
giggle
please.
because you're all children, but the majority of your semen does not come from the testes. If you did not know, it comes from the prostate, and then both of those are mixed with sperm that comes from the testes, right? So what they do is they go in and on both sides they will clip the tubes going from your testes up into where everything mixes, right? And that's called the vas deferens, I believe. Um, so they cut, then they tie both ends of the tubes, and then they cauterize both ends, right? So they tie it up and they cauterize both ends on
Okay.
both sides. It's about a 30-minute procedure. Like from the time I laid down on the table, from the time I left was about 30 minutes.
Wow.
I felt very little pain the whole time. The doctor prescribed me a Vicodin, it's like a muscle relaxer, anti-anxiety like thing, to take an hour before my procedure. And yes, it's just local anesthetic. It's just lidocaine, which was impressive. I've never had any procedure done ever. I've never even had like surgery on my teeth, so it's quite impressive that I did not feel any discomfort or pain. Or I did a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, there's some pain there." And he's like, "Okay," and then gives me more, and then I felt nothing. So, and the incision on both sides is maybe half an inch to an inch. An inch may be too much, I think, because Phil Hoff asked. So it's a very small incision on both sides. So they do that, and I got stitched up, and I got handed a cup and some paperwork, and after 10 to 15 ejaculations, then you collect a sample and you send it for you take it for testing to verify that you are fully sterile, because um, there's still gas in the system
Yeah.
if you catch my drift.
So I found that bit the most interesting. That like the whole thing doesn't actually come from. I didn't know that it didn't actually come all from the testes, and most of it comes
Oh,
from the
wow,
prostate.
really?
So basically, you
Mhm.
still have it's still normal functions. It's just
Yes,
like it always is, except you
no,
don't have the sperm in there.
exactly.
Right.
There's no change in sexual performance. There's no change in function. There's no change in feeling. Nothing.
Your
Um,
end product looks the same.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does. Like there's virtually no difference.
Right.
And there was, like I said, there was no pain, no discomfort. I was sore for maybe 3 days, but I took a week off of work just to be safe, which was probably overkill. Like say if you worked like a low intensity job, like an office job or something, you could probably go back to work near immediately.
Right.
But I'm in and out of a car all day, especially one that's like on the ground.
Yeah.
So I decided to take a little bit. Yes, like streaming on Twitch. Exactly. That's what I did the whole time. I played video games. Oh, and they gave me like I think it was like 3 or 4 days of opioids, which was pretty nice. That was great. I had shoot, what did I have? I had oh no, I think I got them swapped around. I took a Vicodin before the procedure, and then I had a Valium. I had a prescription for Valiums, and it was best sleep I've gotten ever. It was great.
I like what Drew said in the chat. Quite the conversation for my very first podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question as to where the semen ends up. It's really just absorbed back into your body, and if you've had a vasectomy for long enough, your body can actually, and this is part of the reason that some vasectomies aren't reversible, is that your like body's immune system can actually become hostile to sperm cells and kill the sperm cells because it's
right.
Yeah.
It's like a foreign body sort of thing that's not meant to be there.
Yeah, kind of. So that's a factor that goes into maybe not being able to have it reversed.
Right.
So, like, even without the logistics of like connecting those tubes again, yeah.
Huh.
So it just gets absorbed back into your body and.
And are you all back to normal now? No different?
Yeah, I'm pretty back to normal. I'm still like the tiniest bit sore if I move just the wrong way.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's different for each person as to whether like, they have absolutely no discomfort whatsoever or, they have a little bit of discomfort or whatever.
The chat keeps making me laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's great. No one can talk about this without memeing.
I'm a very strange mix of extremely uncomfortable and extremely funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, after that, and I even so for the procedure, I actually accidentally stayed up all night playing video games. So like by the time I took my Valium and I was there, like I was very sleepy, which was actually like the best plan ever. It worked well.
Huh.
So after after it was done and I was getting stitched up, I was actually like politically grandstanding on the responsibility of birth control with the nurse who was stitching me up.
Oh dear.
I was half asleep. I was like, bro, there's no why do women have to do these things, dude? It took 30 minutes. It was great.
So easy for you in comparison.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, it's not a solution for people who may want kids in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if you genuinely do not want kids, or you've had enough kids, or whatever, there's no reason that birth control should be on the responsibility of the woman when this is an option.
Yeah.
They're really, because even the surgical options for women are more invasive.
Yeah.
So, like, there's really no reason. And if you're some guy that's like, no man, I ain't letting nobody near my balls, bro. I ain't letting nobody cut on my ball. Like you're a wimp, okay? You're a little baby brain. You're a little pea brain, baby brain, okay? If your whole manhood is connected to your testicles, like you're baby brain. So,
well, I mean,
as you see, manhood is the actions that you take. It's not the body you're in, or the or the things that you have. Okay.
Oh my word.
Living up to the ideals of a man is by making the decisions that a man would. Okay.
Well, that's what I was
going
to say. I am impressed with your maturity to make such a decision and follow through with it, and then now it's done.
Especially since you've never had an operation like that before, like.
Yeah,
this is quite the first one to have.
Well, I'm usually for the most part I'm good about anxiety when it comes to medical stuff because it's wholly out of my control, right? Like there's nothing I can do to influence it, and I just have to
I am the opposite because of that reason.
Yeah, well, I mean. Well, so not only is it out of my control, it's something that I could not possibly do myself. Like, I would get anxious if it was out of my control and it was something I could do, right?
Right.
Then it's like, oh, they're not going to do as much good of a job as me. But like,
I thought you were going to say you were anxious if you were the one who had to do it.
oh, I mean, I would be the one anxious to do it too. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not in the medical field. But I just have to. I have to let go and have faith in a way in their years of schooling and the hundreds of vasectomies that my doctor has performed before.
It seems to be getting. I don't know whether it may be more common. I'm hearing more about vasectomies.
Yes, since the ruling on Roe v. Wade earlier this year, like vasectomy places are like booked up completely.
Right.
I had to book mine 2 months in advance.
Right. Well,
So,
congratulations on having the snip.
thank you. I'm very proud of my decision.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, quite as Dorogen said in the chat, he's had quite a big step. He went from dental stuff to 2 brain surgeries. So how are you doing, by the way, Dorogen? Are you doing okay now? I know you had some issues, Dorogen, our long-standing mod. We wishing you the best. You seem all right because you're in the chat now. But yeah, surgery is always I think it's a somewhat scary thing. I mean, I hate going to the dentist and I'm all right going to the dentist now as I go every 6 months to get them cleaned and everything. But as soon as I'll have to like get a filling replaced or something like that, and I have to get an injection to numb it, I'm gonna be no good again. But yeah, I don't like any of that sort of stuff.
No, I can't deal with any of that.
Surgeries are really scary, but I mean, the way I see it, the vast majority of the time, you have no choice. Like, as to whether you get this surgery or not. It's like,
yeah, that's true.
You get the surgery or you die. So it's like, either way,
Yeah, and a lot of the time, I feel like it's almost better in that situation to be like, not like you kind of, when you're in such a bad state that anything that would be frightening to you in terms of surgery or whatever, it's just, you would rather have it because otherwise you're not going to go on anyway. So sometimes surgeries are okay like that, but if they're more like an elective thing, or you don't really have to, but maybe you will, then it gets a bit more annoying.
Yeah.
That was it. For Dorogen. Supposedly, he would be.
And with my vasect, well, go.
Yeah, I was just saying he would be dead now otherwise. But yeah, I'm glad that you're feeling better now, Dorogen. That's good. Go on. Sorry.
That's really good. Well, what I was going to say on that same front is like elective surgery with the vasectomy. I mean, I just told the doctor, like, hey man, if you need to, just cut him off and put me on T. Like, I don't need him. I don't need him anyway. So I knew again. I had nothing to lose.
Yeah. It was all good.
Maybe, I mean, best case scenario, I lose them both. I get on T, and then I fill in my beard. It'd be great.
Finally gets full. Well, congrats to us. And
thank you, and congrats to Dorogen too. Yeah. He's alive.
He's alive. Yeah, good job on being alive after brain surgery. I think that's an achievement.
Good job.
Josh, you did many streams this month.
Well, not this month, last month.
Was it? Well, but okay, we're technically in September, but
okay,
in the month between podcasts.
Okay, sure. Yeah, well, actually, I didn't do that many. I did like one really long one, I guess. I was doing my Josh Done Quick thing. I don't know if I talked about it last time, but it's my yearly speedrun marathon that I do for my birthday. It was Wednesday 17th to Sunday 21st. I do 12 hours a day of speedruns.
Oh, so I didn't realize it was that much.
Oh yeah, it's 12. So the idea is that I do 12 hours live, and then I rerun those 12 hours, and then when that rerun ends, I come back and then do 12 hours again. Because there's so everyone can watch the entire thing for its sort of. But yeah, I did that. This time I was in Ireland, obviously. Funnily enough, I would have been in a completely empty house all by myself, but Faye came for that week. and basically kept me alive during it. But we made like a food plan and stuff, and she fed me and whatnot.
That's good.
Um,
Interesting that you were
yeah.
actually at home for once for that.
Yeah, just for that week, and then
Yeah.
I immediately left again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It went really well. I do it. It's not okay. I feel bad talking about it because it's just like, oh yeah, it's a speedrun marathon where I stream a ton to raise money for me. But yeah,
Dude, that's the biggest brain cause you could possibly raise money for. Like that's the only cause I would support. I even donated to you. Like
yes, you did. You were the very last one to do it. And it's great because you said that in chat, and then I read it, but I didn't respond to it out loud. So then you donated it instead. That's the big brain play.
You purposefully ignore important messages.
I wasn't purposefully ignoring. I can't remember what I was talking about, but it was something else. And I was 5 days in. I was kind of delirious. But yeah, it's like a ton of work, and I do it for me. But that's because I feel like I do enough charity work off of my own stream. Like I give a lot of my time towards like ESA. Like I don't just turn up at the events. Like every week, I have like weekly or bi-weekly meetings, organizing stuff and doing stuff there. So it's like I'm doing enough charity work, and I also need the money. It's like my sellout week. So
yeah.
I did that. I got given like 3,500 euros, I think. Something like that. It's kind of complicated because it's the first time I'd used euros instead of pounds. So I don't know if that's more or less than last time, but I mean, whatever.
That's still a nice return.
Yeah. And it went really well. One of the runs I did was GTA 5, actually.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was gonna jump in and watch a little bit and give you some crap in the chat, but I was away, so I didn't get a chance.
I had to work during your Red Dead Redemption one, and I was very, very sad.
Oh yeah, I did that as well. Yeah.
That's when I wanted to come by and donate, but
right.
Know.
Yeah, I this year I did a bunch of runs that I always every year I make a list of like runs that I could do, and I always cut the same ones because they're too long. Like GTA 5 was literally an entire day. And Red Dead Redemption is like half a day. So I normally do an Undead Nightmare and stuff. But so this
the
year,
world record for Red Dead has come down a lot though because of Mashin, the one man.
Yeah, Mashin just grinding it. But like it's also they are on a faster console than me, and I'm gonna keep claiming that's why I'm slow because I'm on 360.
You should have played it on Xenia. Xenia is actually really good now.
Yeah, I mean I didn't want to mess with I only I'm trying to set up so many games that the problem with it right now that I have is that ESA summer happens like the beginning of August, and then I come home and then I have like a week to sort this out because I'm busy with that, sorting ESA out instead. So I think I might actually in future move it to not be exactly on my birthday and instead be like now like at the beginning of September because they always do the September things. So it makes sense to coincide with that, and it would give me half a month to actually work this out instead of jankily sorting stuff out. Because this was the first time I did it. One in Ireland with completely different setup, and also with like OBS because I was using XSplit before, and I was using Stream Elements instead of Streamlabs. So I've all my because I make like a proper professional speedrun marathon layout thing. It looks kind of crap because I'm not artist or anything, but yeah, I have all the layout and stuff, and trying to make that work on a completely new system was fun in the rush before. But yeah, I did GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption. There was a bunch of runs. Yeah, it was good. It was good fun, and yeah, I felt like what was really funny was that Faye, who isn't used to like streaming, was getting like way more exhausted than I was because she was like trying to help me all the time and like commentate and like talk and stuff. But she was getting like really exhausted, and she was also running around cooking and stuff. So I felt fine most of the time, but Faye was like always just sleeping.
You need a whole staff. Look, I'll come next year. I'll come to JDQ next year.
Yeah,
I'll co-commentate for you.
Yeah.
I suppose at least if you move it away from your birthday, you'll be able to have a birthday where you do something for yourself as well, which is nice.
That is also the thing, because my family knows that I'm busy during my birthday now, so they're just like, oh, happy birthday, enjoy your stream thing, and then they just don't do anything. It's like, oh yeah.
My god, that sounds like a dream come true for me. That sounds like the best thing ever.
Well, that's the thing. I like my family and want to do family things with them. I guess is the
True.
difference.
That is the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations on doing that, I suppose. You know, it
Yeah,
was
thanks.
congratulations all around, and
Yeah.
well done.
I'm glad it's behind me for another year.
I guess speaking of stream weeks and sellout weeks and tying it in with September, mine's coming up. I did pretty much the same thing, the week of streams, but not to the extent of 12 hours
Yeah, I
every
was
day.
going to say 12 hours a
Yeah.
day. It was like, whoa, okay.
No, I see people. GT Driver said in the chat, "Take notes, Broughy, when you said 12 hours a day," and I was just thinking, no.
It's too much.
I've always done it in September though, because I started it in 2017 when they did the first September thing, and it's changed dates in September. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, but it's always been in September to coincide with that. It's always been like a push to set number of subscribers, but that's gotten too high now. And I thought 2 years ago that it was getting too high with the sub numbers, and I introduced the charity element, and this year it's all the costs of everything's going up and I can't afford to give it to charity anymore, so now I feel guilty for removing that aspect, and it's all be for me. But now I'm trying to, okay, well, we'll not do the big push to huge numbers of subscribers. We'll just focus on, having a nice stream week together, not worry about the subscriptions and things. So it's a bit different for me, this one, I guess.
So it's all to you? Every bit of it is to you?
It's all to me this time, but
yes,
I'm conflicted
going to donate
about
this
it.
year. Fantastic. I'm going to actually donate.
I am somewhat conflicted about that, because it's difficult to then take it away once you've added a charity aspect, but the expectation for people
it's
to
not difficult.
subscribe...
It's very easy. It's super easy. You just instead of the money going over here, the money goes over here. It's very simple.
But yeah, it should be a fun week anyway. I'm looking forward to it. We always do something a bit wacky and different. There's always there's going to be another Lego build on one of the streams.
Oh boy.
We've done date night for the last 2 years. Maybe we'll do another one of those.
Wait, date night? I don't think I've caught those.
Was it? It might have been a breakfast brunch last year, and it was date night the year before. It was like I set up the camera and everything in my kitchen and cook something and then eat. That's one of the streams. I don't know whether I'll do that this year yet, but third date. Yeah, third date, so we know what happens there. Yeah, it should be fun. I haven't finalized everything yet, but it's going to be the last week in September. So hopefully it'll be... I'm setting a tentative sub goal of 1322 subs, and I'm going to keep that as the goal in these stream weeks forevermore. We're not going to... Because every stream week, we started off... The only reason I did it originally was because I wanted to get to 500 subs so I could get the higher split for subscriptions, the 70-30 across the board. That was back in 2017. We got that. And then the next year it was we were close to 1,000 subs. So I thought, okay, well, let's set the goal to 1,000. And then the year after that it was, okay, well, we went from 500 to 1,000. So let's do 1,500. And then that's when it started to get a bit too ridiculous to go to 2,000 and 2,500. So that's why I introduced the charity element. We still hit 2,000 and 2,500. But considering people are actively stopping subscriptions to people like me because of all of the, they can't afford to, pay for electricity and stuff like that, it would seem silly to go to 3,000 because it's way too much anyway. And I think 1322 just kind of works,
I mean,
your
many do you have
moral
right now?
compass is unwavering. It always points towards true north. It's so frustrating.
I'm sorry. Sub points now is 673.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
So
3,000 would be one hell of a stretch.
It's ridiculous. It's too much.
Yeah.
So I think going to the 1322 and setting that as, unless, as I said on the iRacing stream on Wednesday, unless my channel blows up when GTA 6 comes out and I get 1322 subs every week, we'll set that as the permanent goal for forevermore. I think you should go to 10,000 aim for the sky. No.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, that should be fun. Last week in September. I wanted to ask you. You mentioned, Josh, during your little talk about your stream week, that you'd gone to Stream Elements. You were on Streamlabs, right? I remember we talked about this when Streamlabs were having all their issues, and we were saying how everything is so baked in for us with Streamlabs that moving to a different one is difficult. I guess you've made that move. How was it?
Oh, it's been nothing but pain.
Ah, okay, right.
So like, the one thing that I hate about all these other things is that so Stream. How do you use Streamlabs? Do you like use the overlay stuff on it, or do you use the Stream Labels program?
I use Stream Labels and the alert box.
Right. To my knowledge, none of these other services have a Stream Labels program equivalent where it just gives you all the text files.
Right. Okay.
So it's like all of my layouts, I'm having to like recreate them on their crappy web editor, placing the text in the right place, trying to make it look the same as how I'd have it in OBS and stuff. And the entire time I'm screaming, why don't you just let me use the program specifically built for this exact purpose, which is OBS?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why do you remake this on your website? Like,
so they use like an overlay editor that you do in their service, and then you get like a link to put that overlay in OBS.
Yeah, it's a web page. Yeah, so you'd go on their website, you get like a blank canvas, and then you can add like, the latest sub and all this stuff. Yeah. I'm using it a bit differently because like I'm just for most of my things. So in OBS I have like a scene that just has all the sellout stuff. It's called like just laid out on the screen, just like text everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like use a source mirror and like crop it to the thing I want, and then put that in the layouts where I want it. So I don't have to like recreate all of my layouts on the webpage.
Okay.
But just having a text file that I can just put into OBS and art style the way I want would be much better.
And after all that, isn't like Streamlabs and OBS like chill now? Aren't they cool with each other now? Like, didn't they?
I mean, Streamlabs still does a lot of other crap that's bad, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they changed the name of Streamlabs OBS to something else, I guess. Streamlabs Live or whatever it was, I don't know, but I guess they weathered that storm. But
yeah,
I mean,
to
be honest, they don't get any benefit from me. Like I've got all the stuff turned off where, you know, the one thing that I hated with Streamlabs at one point was where they introduced the Streamlabs Prime, and they automatically added it to the donation page, so people automatically signed up for Streamlabs Prime with an extra monthly fee without knowing. So I turned all that off, and you know, they don't get any money from people donating to me through them, because most of it goes through PayPal anyway, and it's always just processing fees. So considering I've got so much baked into it, I feel like it's okay just leaving it as it is. It's too much I've got too much to do than switch it all up for a reason that's going to look exactly the same when it's all done anyway.
Yeah, and it's just more of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Twitch stuff, we never followed up with your ads incentive things that we talked about a few months ago.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we didn't know at the time. So for anyone who doesn't know, the ads incentive program is things that are for partners where you can get a specific set amount of money for running ads, and Twitch dictate how many ads you've got to run every hour. And if you do that in every stream, they give you a set amount of money, regardless of what the ads would actually have made. But the one thing that we didn't know was whether that was in addition to the ad money. I thought it wasn't, but we weren't sure. I think you were under the impression it was in addition to the ad money.
Yeah.
What's the result of that?
I don't know, because they mix it with the ad payout on the layout, so you don't know. It doesn't. What I thought was going to happen. So for those that don't know, that you get like a little statistic screen when you're like streaming on Twitch and stuff that you can look at revenue. There's like a bar chart, and the bar chart is broken down into categories, and one of the categories is ads. And yeah, I was making more ad money, but I was thinking like, oh well, it's just because I'm running ads now and instead of not.
Yeah.
But it turns out, it's just like it's just baked into that. So like if you do a tenth of your target like hour goal, it'll give you a tenth of the payout for that stream, right?
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so without doing a lot of very difficult work mathsing this out. I don't know if it includes the normal ad rate on top of that or not. But honestly, it's so much money at this point. It's fine. But it seems to fluctuate for me. So because I'm doing so much travel and so many events and stuff, I have some streams, some months where I stream loads. So this month is August was totally messed up because of Josh Done Quick. So I streamed 24 hours a day for 5 days, right? So it thinks I've streamed 175 hours in August, which is right. But the ad incentive you get given is based on how many hours and how many viewers you had during the last month. So
you've got to stream 175 hours this month.
2 months before. Yeah, 2 months before, because they offer it to you in the middle of the month. Right. So I got September's offer in the middle of August, and it was based off of July's.
Yeah.
But July, I only streamed 65 hours. So the ads, I can look at it now. Let me see. Where's partner? It's so buried finding this. No, that's merch. Ad manager, right. That's still the wrong button. Where is this button? Oh, all right, we're in September now, right. So it wants me to stream 53 hours and run 5 minutes of ads per hour for $550. Whereas if we compare that to the one I had in August, which was super lucky that the cycles worked out like this, I'm running... It's 8 minutes of ads. Jesus, I didn't see that. It was 8 minutes of ads per hour for 86... Stream at least 86 hours, and I would get $1,360.
Jesus, like guaranteed money.
Yeah, and that was the same month of Josh Done Quick. So it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to stream much this month, but what I am streaming is like a 24-hour thing, so it makes sense to just run all the ads during that.
But then 8 minutes of ads an hour is huge.
Yeah, I didn't even see it was that much, because it's different, because like the first picture I showed you was $216 for 3 minutes of ads per hour. So that I didn't even realize they were changing the number of ads. So this month they want me to run 5 minutes of ads per hour, but I've always picked the biggest option. I've never picked the smallest one. So they changed the number. So that I didn't realize that 8 minutes of ads is it's over 10% of.
Yeah.
Wait, is that 10% of an hour? Yeah, because 6 minutes. Yeah. So 12% or 11% or whatever of my stream was ads.
That's what S. Harrison said in the chat. The ads are so annoying on the streams I've been watching the last couple of months. There's ads every 2 or 3 minutes and the stream doesn't pause, so you miss so much.
Yeah.
I don't like the way that Twitch are treating this, because they're trying to normalize ads and ads just play at random times. But that is just totally counter to how streams are meant to work. Yes, if there's a little break, or say I'm doing a race, and then if they want me to run lots of ads, okay, I'll do a race, play an ad, do a race, play an ad. I'm not saying I would actually choose that, but you can choose when to run ads in the natural flow of the content, or if you take a break to go to the toilet or something like that. Whereas everything that they're basing this ads incentive program on, they released the 55% ad split, but it's all conducive on and based on you doing them automatically. You can't get any of these perks.
You can do them manually. You can do them manually.
Well,
you're forced to have them automatic, but you can sleep timer or something, the automatic ones, and if you play them manually, it won't play the next automatic one.
So is that when you're in the incentive program, you can still do it? So if you do if you do it manually, it skips the automatic one that's up next.
It wants you to run 5 minutes of ads per hour. It doesn't want you to do it automatically. I mean, I'm doing it automatically because Josh Done Quick is I couldn't do it, but you can do it manually.
You could run them at the top of the hour, like Hassan does. It's kind of a meme,
you'd have to run a lot at the top of the hour, but you could. So let me open my ads manager. This is a way to pop this out somehow.
Be like how ITV used to run ads on Formula One. Yeah, last lap.
Yeah. I don't think I can pop this out without streaming, but on the stream pop out thing, it has you can sleep timer the next ad, Oh, here it is, Ads Manager. You can snooze an ad, or you can run. There's a button to run the next block of ads like right now.
Okay.
And that'll I think it doesn't shift the next ads along. It will just give you a bigger break till the next automatic one.
Okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't had one of those ads incentive program offers that is decent enough, to be honest. To like I wonder how it compares to just if I was to run like that one is there was 1,000 or whatever for 8 minutes of ads per hour for
Yeah.
God knows how many hours. If you ran 8 minutes of ads per hour manually for that many hours, how much would you have made less than what that incentive program is giving you?
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that much. I don't think they're really giving you that much extra just for doing it through this program, personally.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, they obviously they've tried in the past to increase ad revenue slowly for people and try to encourage people to run ads. Like you won't get pre-rolls and all this stuff if you do it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like people don't want to add like that's a bad word. People don't want to have in addition to what their normal stream stuff is to have a manual ad button and stuff.
Yeah.
So they've added this automatic thing because people are lazy and will just use it, I guess.
But I think it's negatively impact. Like it is. I mean, that's.
Oh, yeah.
We had as Harrison said, but we've also got Raven coming in with that 37-month notification saying the only reason I'm watching this is because I use my Prime sub here. I've nearly stopped watching Twitch altogether because of the ads. Like it is negatively impacting people, I think, in terms of the viewing experience with all these automatic ads on live content that doesn't pause like a YouTube video does.
Yeah. Definitely. Like it is worse, but like especially for me where I'm streaming so sporadically at the moment, the knowing how much money I'm going to make thing is like really useful.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense from a creator perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I look at like my sub count, like my sub count for July was like 500, which is like I normally have like 1,000. So it was like, but I made like okay money that month, even though the sub count was low, because the ad revenue is like helping with it. Like I maybe should do a month when the offer is low one month. I should do it manually, and then I could like experiment and see what it does.
Oh yeah, like don't actually take up the offer, but run the ads as if you had, and see how much you've made off the ads alone in comparison to what the offer was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you can use the ad manager thing without having the offer. Like, you can still just program it up, just run ads automatically anyway.
Yeah.
But the ad manager thing is just there to assure that you are going to make the 5 minutes or whatever an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can overwrite it. But yeah, it's definitely worse. But the way I think about this with everything, especially the way I act on the internet, is that if people don't want to watch ads, they're just going to block them.
Yes, I mean, unless you're on mobile, you can't really do that.
Yeah, there are obviously some circumstances, but for the most part, I don't have a problem with ads personally because like I just block ads everywhere. I have a Pi hole at home that blocks them all. I have like ad blocks in all my browsers.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be promoting this, but there is a Twitch specific ad block script you can get that works on Twitch because our normal ad blockers don't.
It doesn't impact me too much. I rarely run ads. I only run ads if I go to the toilet.
But who blocks the ads and who doesn't is Twitch's problem. Like they're paying me for running them. Like I don't care if you watch them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on YouTube you get paid for like ads that are actually viewed, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get paid if the ads.
Well, my thing here is that at least like it is an avenue to have a guaranteed wage from producing content on Twitch. It's not just like pennies from ads, like running them normally or whatever. Like how much was the incentive? It was like over $1,000, right? Josh?
That month it was, yes, but it depends. And that I honestly didn't realize it was 8 minutes of ads. I would have taken there was one for 800 I could have done for 5 minutes of ads. I probably would have done that instead because 8 is a bit insane.
Well, I mean, like, I suppose for streamers who have more stable content, I guess, in terms of like times and whatnot. Like if this truly was like this is what I do for a job on this schedule, I guess. Does that make any sense? What I'm trying to say, like that amount of money that's that's more than I get on my paychecks every month. So, I mean, obviously I make a little more than that due to, tips and stuff, but like, I mean, that's like actually that's a semi-living wage, at least where I'm at. It may not be where you are, but
Yeah, that is the most I've ever seen. I'll I'll be clear. I'm not just making $1.5 grand every month of ads.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
what was I saying?
even 800 in addition to your subs is like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's still
Like yeah,
that's still I see it as worth, in some instances, worth the like negative impact on the content, just to like have that guaranteed income. You
like
know,
yeah. I
I
enjoy it quite a lot because I'm not someone who wants to just like beg for subs and have big flashy alerts on stream and stuff like that. Like I enjoy it quite a lot because I just forget about it and just let it run. Like I could micromanage it, and I do have the ad manager thing open, and if I know something crazy is about to happen or something crazy is happening, I will snooze an ad or whatever. But that is about the extent of it I go. But yeah, it is just like it's like a different form of income. Like instead of having to have subs and stuff, like Bruff, you're talking about how people don't have money for subs right now, right? Well, guess who
Yeah, I
does
mean,
have money? Advertising
yeah, it
agencies,
makes
right?
sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it depends on situation, who you stream, how you run your streams. I get that. Yeah,
Yeah, because I remember like I used to watch Hearthstone streams, and a lot of the really big Hearthstone streamers between games they would just like take like a 5 minute talk to chat break. Oh, not 5 minutes, but they'd have in between games they'd have breaks, and I thought they were just avoiding stream snipers, but they weren't. They were running ads.
right. Yeah.
So it's like definitely like some content where it's like a lot better. Like like hour-long speed runs for me, it's like kind of impossible. I just have to run them in the middle of the content and hope nothing crazy happens during it.
Yeah.
But depending on what it is, you could like I imagine like for you, if you're doing GTA, don't you like you do a race and then you lobby for like 5 minutes waiting for people to join, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a good bit of downtime in between races. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people would mind too much. Like, I'll stress, like, I literally didn't know I was running 8 minutes of ads, and I have seen a total of 3 people during Josh Done Quick talk about ads in chat.
Right. So
like,
you've been
it's
running
just,
8 minutes of ads every hour without realizing it,
without realizing it. No one says anything.
but only 3 people have ever mentioned it.
Yeah,
Right.
because the regulars will be subbed, and obviously definitely have just ads for subs turned off.
Yeah.
Because like, that makes total sense, and like someone subscribing will give you more ad revenue than an ad for them will ever do the whole month.
Yeah. And as Hammer said, some people only have Twitch Turbo, which is £9 a month and no ads on Twitch at all. Plus, the streamer still gets the ad revenue that they would have got without you having it, which is a good idea, I suppose, if you've got the money for that as well. Sorry about the ice cream truck outside.
Oh, that's nice.
That's great. I want ice cream.
Do you have ice cream trucks in the US?
Yeah. What do I have ice cream? Yes,
I mean, I don't know.
Of course.
Okay.
You think the most obese country in the world doesn't have trucks full of ice cream? Just rampaging the streets. Yes, of course we do.
All right.
Oh.
But yeah, so I think there's enough ways around it that it's not like a total disaster. Like I will not say that it is better for the viewer, of course not, but it's like such a quality of life increase for me.
Yeah.
Like just knowing that because some like this is gonna sound really shit, but like sometimes I stream and I do like a run and then like I'll stream for like 6 hours or something and then I'll stop and then like at some point I'll look at the revenue for that day and I'll think, man, today was pointless. Nobody subbed or donated or anything, right? And it's just like making no money sometimes. And then some days where I would have like I felt like the stream was really bad. Someone would give like 50 subs or like a sub train or something would happen.
Yeah, you never know with stuff like that. Yeah, it has its ups and downs. Yeah.
Yes, it was totally random and variable. Whereas this is like some certainty and smoothing out of revenue for once in my life is like very, very nice. I like that.
And I guess that makes a difference. I know you've started to focus on your YouTube stuff more as well, but you've primarily been a streamer, whereas I've primarily been the YouTuber who streams. But like in that way, I'm used to having a bit more certainty with the YouTube side, whereas especially those who are only streaming, like having that certainty of ad money is probably a big impact, I guess. So I'm seeing the other sides of it now. Not that I'm going to start doing it, but at least I understand it.
Yeah. I just I don't want to just sound like a sellout here.
No.
But yeah,
I mean,
it is.
I feel like like you said, like people who don't want to see the ads are going to sub, or they're going to find a way themselves to not see ads, which is like the most likely, or like they're not invested in you or your content anyway.
Sorry, the view count you think would be lower. If anything, it's higher because there's no pre-rolls ever on my stream.
Yeah, people could just come in and watch the stream straight away without pre-roll ads.
Now that is a quality of life. Like I would rather like, that is preferable because I think the biggest detriment to like being discovered on Twitch is or like having new viewers is definitely the pre-roll ads. So if someone could come into a stream and see say 10 minutes of content or so without having to sit through a 2-minute ad, like that's a big deal.
I've actually tried to experiment. I think it was either Wednesday or today. I can't remember which, but playing like a set number of 60 seconds of ads while my intro screen is starting. So that then for the next 20 minutes, anyone who comes into the stream doesn't see any ads.
Yes, that is a thing that I do as well. The way I have the ad manager configured is at the beginning of the hour. So like as soon as I start my stream, it runs like a lot of ads.
Yeah.
Because no one's there. But then, the pre-rolls are disabled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something to think about at least. I guess we're kind of running out of time, so we'll quickly do a bit of gaming news. Nossa's games. You wanted to tell us about some games that you've been playing. We don't have any like actual gaming news from the world of gaming. Like if there was any gaming news in the last month, I've forgotten about it, so it probably wasn't that interesting. But
I mean, I think isn't Xbox acquiring Activision Blizzard? Isn't that a thing?
That was months ago.
That was months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that tells you that my finger is on the pulse, but I can't find a pulse. So I just slotted this in because like we didn't have anything to talk about. I've been playing. The new Saints Row is doo doo. That's news. That's a shame. That's a real shame. And like it's even more doo doo than I thought it could be from what I've seen. So it's great. But so I've been playing two things. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 again, but now with a lot of mods, and it's been pretty great. As I was telling you guys in the pre-show, since Rockstar has just said like they're abandoning the game, I think that a lot of the mod creators for Red Dead Redemption 2 are like having a bit of a renaissance at the moment because I would hypothesize that they aren't afraid that Rockstar's just going to come along and update it, and then they've got to change everything, right? So the game is more of a stable platform to modify, because, obviously Rockstar does not support mods in really any way, so, because they're doo-doo heads.
It's true.
But I've been playing that. I've got so many mods here. Let me look at my sheet and tell you like what kind of stuff I have real quick, because it's really impressive the stuff, and I didn't even install like a lot of the stuff I could have. But there's a lot of good mods here. Let's see here. So let's see. There's obviously like texture upscales. I've got a bunch of restored content that wasn't in the game, like cut content. I have let's see here. Like a lot of functions that should have just been in the game, but wasn't for whatever reason. And then like changes to the gameplay, like I have like the character has needs now instead of just having the cores. That just drain a little bit over time. Like they actually have, hunger and thirst and sleep, when you play. So it's like a lot more of a survival game than it was beforehand. There's one that like the weather lasts longer, and the biggest mod that's been the most important for my enjoyment of the game has been a consistent time scale mod. So, um, in the game, it's very weird. The night passes faster than the day on the vanilla time scale. So, like the length of a minute, like in real life, or the length of an hour, will be longer during the day than in the night. I would presume so that the night passes really quick because you don't want to play in the dark for whatever reason, which is silly because of course I want to play in the dark. Um, so I have the time scale set to where a day is 144 minutes in real life. So I took a day, like 24 hours, half that to 12, half that to 6, and then half that. So like I feel like I can actually do things now cuz previously in the game like you'd sit down to play poker at say 8 p.m. and then it'd be 8 a.m. within 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And it was just silly. So now like I can actually do things and not feel like I'm going through like weeks of in-game time just to do 20 minutes of stuff. And it's been really great. And then there's also like rebalances to the combat too, and and there's a mod that's like the ped. It's like damage to the pedestrians is overhauled. So like when you shoot NPCs, they'll actually stumble and like writhe on the ground and bleed out and all kinds of stuff. Like it's really impressive what they've been able to do with essentially no support from the game creator. You know, like they've been able to overhaul quite a few things. And
Is
then,
it,
of
is it
course, there's-
changing the game experience for you? Like, is it a much better experience that you're having now playing it through with all these mods?
Definitely. Like every kind of small problem that I had with the game for the most part has been solved by these mods.
Right.
Like the way that I didn't like the combat in some situations, you know, the way like in the vanilla game I feel like Arthur is like really powerful and like can take so many bullets like he can't anymore. Is because of the damage overhaul. Like I die in 3 to 4 shots just like the NPCs do, which is great.
That's cool.
So it's a lot more of a slow paced survival game, which is what I wanted out of it, as opposed to you know GTA in Cowboy, GTA Cowboy.
Yeah.
So like it's been a great experience, honestly. I've really enjoyed playing it, and it's yeah, it's just great. It really is just great. Oh, and there's even a mod that like where you can get critically hit too, and like get injured and like limp and stuff. Like it's pretty good, and it works surprisingly well. So
Yeah, is there any mods that you've tried that haven't worked, or just like not been?
yeah,
enough.
the main like big mod for the visuals that everyone does, like it's literally I think it's called Vestigia. It seems to be a mod that only like plays well by itself because it's so like such an intensive graphical overhaul that like if I was using that plus all the mods I have, it would crash a lot more often. And the performance would be worse. So I decided to not use that one. But for the most part, like if you're looking, like if you go to the Nexus and you look at the most popular mods, like all of them pretty much do what they say on the tin. I will say that the script mods that like try to add in more content are a lot more say dodgy than the ones who like expand on an already existing mechanic, right? So like ones that like add in new bounties and new stuff to do seem to be the least polished out of all the mods.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's good.
So-
It's good that, like, in the absence of Rockstar's support for the game, the community have stepped up and they just thought, okay, well, we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, it's been great. What I really want is, I mean, and I would pay for this. I would pay for someone to develop this. Is like we know that Red Dead Online is garbage. We all know this. And we have Red M, so we have the 5M equivalent of Red Dead Redemption, but it's nothing but like cringy cowboy roleplay.
Okay.
and it's of course because of course it is
Yeah.
just like 5M. I wish I could just give someone money and they could recreate the original Red Dead multiplayer from the first game in Red Dead 2's like Red M. That would be fantastic. It'd be so simple. All you got to do is just have enemies spawn in a gang hideout and like have little land grabs where characters like players fight each other over a piece of land. It would. I'd feel like it would not be hard at all to just
Basically, what Red Dead 2 Online should have been, or whatever.
yeah, something a lot more basic.
I don't know how basic that is, because if a AAA developer made it as a multiplayer, even like 10 years ago, that's still a lot of people that worked on that for several years. I don't know, dude. I don't know how simple that is.
Well, I would say like having all the different game types would definitely be a lot more complicated for sure. Like I'm talking about just the free mode experience
Oh, okay.
of the original. Yeah. No, I don't want all the like that's like saying, because what did you ever play the original Red Dead multiplayer?
I know.
So basically, you loaded in. You had a leveling system. You could go from 0 to 50, and you got experience from killing other players. The main activity was gang hideouts. So basically, you walk into an area, and then enemies spawn, and then you kill the enemies. And some of the gang hideouts had like little objectives, like blow up this box or kill this specific dude. But that was the main content, and then a lot of time was just spent fighting other players, of course. And then every town also had like a land grab where you could activate it, and then it would basically say like, it was basically a capture the point, like you had to control the point basically. And it let everyone in that session like teleport to that town so that they could all fight. It was basically like a hey, come do PvP here,
right? Okay.
Essentially. Like that was the majority of the content. It was super uninvolved.
I wonder if it would have the same legs these days, though, to be able to catch people's attention for long enough with all the other multiplayer stuff that's out there now.
Well, yeah, of course it would. I mean, it wouldn't catch enough attention to warrant a AAA company making it of the foundation of multiplayer. But for a Red M server, I mean, look at the roleplay content. Like, there's no content there. I mean, there is now after all this development, but back when it was like really popping, like there wasn't much you could do. You just stood around in a parking lot and talked to other big streamers, and everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. This was like the greatest transcendent experience that people have ever had in gaming because they're interacting with each other. Like, so don't tell me that something's like too basic to have fun, But anyway, that's my little rant about that.
Cool.
And the other game I've been playing is, since y'all haven't played it, and probably very few people in chat have, so I'm not going to talk about it a lot, is Disco Elysium. It's a fantastic game that has furthered my political radicalization.
Fantastic.
So it's great. It really is a very good game.
My girlfriend Faye has been playing it before a bit, and she says it's really good. The situations she describes to me sound very funny and kind of dark humor, like stuff like her character. If you get like the wrong stat, or if you get too angry or something, or insane, then you can't choose what you say to people, and you blurt out offensive things to people. Yeah. So if you're like, it's like a survival, a top-down isometric survival game thing, right?
It's not a survival game. It's a detective game. You're you're a detective solving a murder.
Okay.
And solving the mystery of your own life, because your character has amnesia. Like, you wake up from like the most drunken stupor that your character's ever had as an alcoholic, and like you have to figure everything out. It's like a complete blank slate, and it's so great.
It's like one of the first things is you can accidentally hang yourself trying to get your tie off the fan blade or something.
I think maybe if you critically fail that check, maybe.
Yeah, there's some, I heard a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of weird things like that.
It sounds like one of those alternate endings, like if you just critically fail the roll, because that's the first thing you do.
Yeah,
Is
right, okay.
like you wake up with no clothes on, your tie's on the ceiling fan, and your clothes are scattered, and your room's a disaster, and the window's busted.
Right,
Like,
right.
Might
I'm
have a look
searching.
at it then.
it's great. I don't know how well of a stream game it would be,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a game worth playing for sure. And I'm not even done with it yet. I'm probably, I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through it maybe, and it's I haven't had an experience like this in a game in a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds cool.
Right. Well, Hammer now has an anecdote for us in the gaming news section, and we're then going to talk about Formula One and F1 Manager. And I know you have to go to work, so it's up to you, Nos. I'm giving you an out.
I will leave. I will leave.
All right. We'll see you next month, where I'll be in the middle of my stream. Well, towards
Well, I'm
the
not
end of my
leaving
stream.
yet. I'm not just gonna.
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna leave
during
before the
racing
Formula
tomorrow.
One? Okay. All
Yes, but I want to hear what Hammer.
All right,
has
that's
to say.
fine. Okay. All right. Hammer, what's your little funny gaming anecdote that you mentioned?
Yeah, no worries. So it basically starts off with people of my age and older probably will know of the games Monkey Island. If you've heard of the series Monkey Island before, it's a point and click adventure. That
I've
was
heard
very
the name,
popular
but I've never. I don't think I've ever
back in the
seen
day.
anything about it.
Very, very funny game, really well written and whatnot. So
Secret of Monkey Island.
yeah, there was two of the original games, and then it had a little spin-off and whatnot, and there was remakes and whatnot throughout the years. However, the creator said that there was never going to be another one. Well, earlier this year, he announced there is in fact going to be another one, and it's actually coming out this month, which is great. Almost exactly the same staff as they had previously, and they've managed to get all the rights back from LucasArts and everything, who originally published it. And
wait, they
it's going to
brought
be
back all
published-
the same staff from the first game, and
a lot of the same staff from the original games.
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
and all of the old voice actors as well.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
When was the
so
first
it's-
game created?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll look at
1990.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's
Wow,
the
okay.
old-
Yeah, so there's a new one coming out this month, and for their publisher, they decided to go with Devolver Digital, who
Of
I'm
course.
sure you've probably heard of. They do all the crazy E3 announcements and whatnot, and they published Inscription, which you've just played, Broughy.
They
as
are
well.
great. Devolver
Really,
Digital.
really great publisher.
Yeah.
So they're out promoting the game at the moment, and they I've put a picture in Choke Chat for you just now, and I'll pop it in chat as well. So
Is it to show?
yes, yeah. So they tweeted out from Gamescom. That's their little booth that they have. They tweeted that out on Friday morning, not yesterday, but the week before. And my girlfriend Jessie is the biggest Monkey Island fan you'll ever see in your life, right? She is just a massive Monkey Island fan. And conveniently, Gamescom is hosted just down the road from her. So I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder. So what I did was I scoured the internet for an email address for Devolver Digital and managed to find their front-facing one on their website. Thought, no way this will happen. But I fired off an email saying, look, my girlfriend's birthday's tomorrow. Noticed you tweeted out this picture at Gamescom. Would be absolutely overjoyed if I could pay for you to transport one of those cardboard cutouts to her home, like once the show's over. And I thought, fuck off, I'm not going to get a reply. So that was like at 8 o'clock in the morning or something. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I got an email from the person that's on the show floor at Gamescom saying, their front-facing email address is, because it's Devolver Digital, is a fictitious CFO that they've created, So he said, "Oh, this guy passed on your email to me. I'd be happy to arrange something like that for you. Is there any particular cutout that you want like that?" And I was like, "No way."
Yeah, you just don't expect anything when you send something like that, do you? Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's incredible.
He was just like, yeah, no problem at all. The fact that they passed it on to their guy at Gamescom straight away, like no questions asked, just there you go, was fantastic of them to do. And the guy was super nice, and he said the only thing is, I can't get it to her. She would have to come and collect it. Right. So I was like, shit, right. So I got in contact with Jesse, and like I was like, Jesse, I started off by saying, like, how likely is it for you to be able to get into the city? Because it's a few miles away where Gamescom is held.
Just
I was like, how likely is it?
Does it? Yeah. Which day of Gamescom was this? Was this like last day and she had to be there today?
This was. I think Gamescom runs from like Tuesday to Sunday, and this was on the Friday.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I said, Jesse, how likely is it for you to be able to get into Gamescom tonight? And she's just like, yeah, no way. I can't be arsed with that sort of thing. I was like, yeah, fair enough. But I've arranged something for you that you didn't know. And I explained it to her, and she was just like, oh my God, I've got to get ready. So she manages to get ready. We managed to arrange it. Like I started, instead of doing the email chains with the guy on the floor, I started DMing him on Twitter, and we managed to arrange it and whatnot. And so she got there. She managed to pick up one of the, what I thought were cardboard cutouts. No, my friend. Firstly, they're much bigger than what they look like. Secondly, they're made out of fucking wood. Yeah,
Jesus!
Wow.
So,
wow.
Jesse doesn't have a car, so
no,
she had to take this massive wooden cutout with her on the train back home.
Wow.
But long story short, she does have a massive cardboard cutout of the character Stan from the game, which on the photo is the guy on the right in the brightly coloured jacket. He's a really an annoying salesman character. But
this guy, the purple jacket.
Yes, the purple jacket guy. So that now resides. It's in fact so big that it can't fit in her room, and she has to have it round her house at various points. So she moves it from like the kitchen to the living room and stuff. She can't have it in her bedroom. It's too big.
Yeah, they do. Like when you're comparing them to these guys, like the guys who were stood there, they are big.
Yes, and if they're made out of wood, 8 feet tall.
Yeah, they're absolutely massive.
Wow.
Yeah, there's another one that you can't see there that's like the main bad guy character, and that one is absolutely ginormous. So yeah, he actually, the guy from Devolver said like, he said like, which one do you want? He was just like, you can take anyone you want, basically. But yeah, that's the moral of the story is you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, you know.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
It's
and that's
so
how
nice
Hammer
of them
won
to
Boyfriend
do
of the Year award. I know, right?
Yeah,
it was like, yeah, it was so nice of them to do, because it was her birthday the next day, and it worked out as a great birthday.
Did you mention in the first email that it was her birthday? Or
yes, I did,
okay,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is incredible. That is amazing.
They just passed it straight to their guy on the floor, their head guy on the floor. It was just like brilliant.
Yet again, Devolver Digital has exceeded expectations.
Exceeded expectations. Yep.
That's
cool.
What
it's all about. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good job.
Good for them. Just thought I'd give you that little anecdote.
That's awesome.
That's the really best bit of gaming news we've had in a gaming news segment for a long time.
Probably forever.
Probably ever, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Feel I'd be remiss to say, like, Return to Monkey Island's coming out this month, so everybody buy it.
Yeah, free. You know, it's given them some goodwill on this podcast.
If it has a fandom so strong that someone's gonna ride on the train to get a cutout of one of the characters, like, I've got to play this game.
Yeah,
like,
for Jessie's birthday last year, I got her if you've heard of limited run games, they do like physical editions of games with like special editions that like publishers might not do and stuff. They did a massive limited edition Monkey Island box set that included all the games twice on various different formats, a statue, loads of different memorabilia from the game, like silly little things that you would only like meme things from the game and stuff that you get in there. And no joke, I pre-ordered it when it went on sale, and it was a year and a half before she actually got it.
Jesus.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how much of a fan she is of Monkey Island. So I thought might as well get her some more shit to put around her house as well.
That's great.
So,
This has got to be the best game ever. Like that's a fan.
I'd love to have been on that train journey. Funny you say that, Ramo, because Jessie was absolutely loving the attention she was getting because everybody was staring at her. This stupid standout cardboard cutout.
I gotta get going now. I'm glad I stayed for that, but I gotta get going.
All right, okay.
It's already
nice.
10 past. See you, Hammer. See everybody.
See you later.
Right.
Yeah,
That is so cool. It's so
she had
good.
people coming up to her offering to buy it and stuff.
Wow,
She's like,
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
All right. Well,
So yeah, fun time had by all.
you can't imagine most developers doing that, like Rockstar or the bigger publishers, or like you just
That would have
can't
just been
imagine it.
filed in the bin
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. Instantly deleted email. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Right, Racing Corner. Let's do it quick, and then you can get back to your party since Nos has already gone as well.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you put the notes on here, so
Oh, okay, I'll go do it. Well, we can do it quickly, I guess. So, Formula One stuff. The race happened. A Spa race happened a week ago, and Verstappen was ungodly fast.
he is very quick this year.
Like it was. What was it? Like a second and a half or something faster than people.
It was ridiculous.
It was so insane, and like at one point Leclerc pit to try to get fastest lap, which was a farce, but we won't get into it. But he was just like nowhere near. Like it was totally pointless. Like
yeah, even on
no
brand
one
new
else was
tyres at
getting-
the end of the race on the lowest
Yeah.
fuel, he still wasn't quicker than Verstappen's on his old
Yeah.
tyres and fuel on.
So it's
The one thing that nobody ever mentioned, though, is the thing that always got mentioned when... Remember Brazil last year when Hamilton put the new engine in and went from last basically to first across the two races? Like no one mentioned the fact that Verstappen had a brand new engine, and I think brand new engines really make a big difference. Doesn't matter, like he was still gonna win, I think, without the new engine, but
he wasn't the only one with a new engine.
no, that's true.
Leclerc
Yeah,
had one,
yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is supreme this season. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of concerning, and it's upsetting how much Ferrari is dropping the ball because we're just going to end up with a Verstappen season.
Although it's been really close this the qualifying session that we just had at Zandvoort.
Yes.
It's super close, and the Mercedes seem to be back in it as well.
Yeah,
Because they were saying with all the
flares onto the track.
I know, so dumb. But like those floor changes that they brought in, they were saying how that hasn't really made an impact in Spa because they had to put them at a certain ride height for Eau Rouge anyway. Whereas I think maybe it seems to have made an effect more because Mercedes are definitely a lot closer at Zandvoort.
It's possible.
So maybe we can have at least like
We'll see.
3 teams fighting for a win this season. But I think Verstappen had the championship sewn up halfway through.
Yeah. Like, I definitely think there's a battle for second place in the constructors.
Yeah. Especially if Ferrari keep doing Ferrari things.
Yeah, it's been so bad how Ferrari have handled this season.
Yeah.
But I mean, Zandvoort, I mean, there's not going to be any passing or overtaking rates. It's just like...
Oh yeah, did you watch the Formula 2 race before this podcast started?
No.
You don't need to.
Okay, was there just nothing? Okay.
Well, watch the first lap and then don't watch the rest.
Right.
It ends how it after the first lap.
Okay.
But
yeah, shame that track's kind of crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, to keep this short, I guess to lead into it, I've been playing a ton of F1 Manager. I was like I've been looking forward to F1 Manager for so long now. I don't know if I've ever brought it up on the podcast, but a few years ago, F1 Management announced that they were hiring Frontier to make an F1 management game. It was like in one of their investor meetings or whatever. That was ages ago, and the game finally came out. And yeah, it's like super good. It's if you've ever heard of Football Manager, it's that but for F1.
Which I mean, I feel like 10 years ago I was playing a Football Manager and thinking, why isn't there one of these for Formula One?
Yeah. There's been a few over the years. Like the one I've played the most is Motorsport Manager.
Yeah.
But that was a small indie game that was like licensed by Sega, and it was pretty shallow. Not the most. You do like 2 seasons, and then it'd be like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
This seems to be either something is weird because it's so similar to Motorsport Manager that there has to be some kind of crossover. Like they've either completely ripped it off intentionally, or they have the same staff or something. But it's so similar to Motorsport Manager, but it's just like more focused. There are a few things that are worse about it than the old Motorsport Manager, but 80% of it is better than Motorsport Manager. But the problem is it's come out in quite a glitchy state. The racing simulation, it's really cool that you can like actually watch the cars, and the graphics in the game are actually surprisingly good for a management game. I've just been like streaming the races like from the main view the whole time. People are like, whoa, this looks like real life or whatever.
Yeah, some of the shots I've seen that they look better than the Formula One Codemasters game.
Yes,
racing
which
yourself,
is very funny. Yeah, but some of the like the AI stuff is quite bad. Like it seems like if there's a car behind another car, it has to like queue up an overtake attempt. Like it has to be like, right, the AI is now going to try to overtake before they ever overtake. So what can happen? I've had it happen several times. Is Canada, the track where like the pit lane comes out to the side around the big chicaney bend.
Yeah.
On the left, it's like if someone's coming out of there and there's another car coming up, as soon as they're not in the pits anymore, if there's a car behind, they'll suddenly slam on the brakes to try to stay behind them, even though there's like clear air in front of them.
Yeah.
There's been a few weird things, like if someone crashes and breaks their front wing, then everyone gets stuck behind them until they like get to an overtaking spot and then like perform a normal overtake or whatever. So there's no like oh, if this person's going like 50 kilometers an hour slower than you, you don't need to queue an overtake logic, right? Yeah, it's like very on rails, like the way the AI works and the visual driving. There's a few other problems I'm trying to think.
I guess they'll gradually fix that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but
a lot of people.
It would be nice if it was done before it released.
Yeah, have you ever been on a video games subreddit before? Like, for a specific game?
I somewhat frequent 2 of them.
Right, but sometimes it's when a new game comes out, it's like the subreddit is like super hyped for the game, and then it comes out, and then if there's like some problems, we get this weird split like pack mentality thing where there's the I love this game and I'm having a great time with it people, and then there's this is literally the worst game that has ever released and I'm refunding it immediately and everyone else who likes it is stupid pack. Right? And it's like the subreddit is very interesting to read right now because there are so many people that are so mad about it. But I've been enjoying it. Like I can deal with the jank and stuff, and I'm fine with it.
Speaking of jank, I was going to show the clip that you put on Twitter.
Oh yeah, go on. Yeah, wait, which one? The
1-2.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean it's kind of janky. Yeah, okay. I've been playing a no pausing, no fast forwarding playthrough. So I sit through the entire duration of the races.
And this is lap 67 out of 70. So you've been sitting here watching this race for an hour and a half.
I'm controlling it, but yeah.
And your team is McLaren.
Yes, I am McLaren. I've got Norris and Ricciardo first and second.
Okay.
All to the right makes it stronger, but takes more time. Does it? For fuck's sake. No!
Yes, I'm very upset about this.
For those who are listening, Norris and Ricardo were in P1, P2, and they took one went into the back of the other one, and that was it.
Yep.
They were done out of the race.
Ricardo locked up and just went straight into the back of it's Baku 2018 again, but in Canada this time. Yeah, that was the end of like an hour and a half of my my life, and that was like because I'm been traveling here. That was the last time I could play the game for like a week. So that's how it ended. And so it's like all the build up, all the equipping parts and stuff, and all the practice tuning setups, and then qualifying, and then everything, and then the race goes well, then I get into the lead.
I mean, it gives you a taste of what it's like in real life, I suppose, when stuff like that happens. All that work goes into it, and then
yeah. I mean, I'm not upset that it happens, and it should be a part of the game. But it's obviously like I'm still, I still think about it. It's like, oh my god, I always won that race.
Yeah.
I do think the game is too easy though. Like some people say that they don't have a difficulty problem, but I definitely do. I should not be. That's like my ninth race with McLaren. I should not be 1-2ing with McLaren in my ninth race.
Yeah.
So even though I'm applying a bunch of difficulty things, like not pausing is a really big one. Because if a safety car happens, the instinctive thing is to slam the spacebar and pause the game and think about what you're going to do for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But whereas I have like half a lap to think about it.
Yeah, you've got to do it in real time. I think that's got to be the best way to play, though, if you're wanting the proper experience. Yeah.
Yeah, because especially my tendencies to speedrun and optimize things, I would literally be like, pause 16x fast forward, pause 16x fast forward the whole time. But yeah, it does seem a bit too easy. Yeah, I should not be 1-2ing, but it has a lot of the same problems as Motorsport Manager, and the AI seems kind of dumb, like the enemy rate, the other teams and stuff. But overall, it's a really good game. I've been enjoying the hell out of it, and it was a very nice birthday present from F1 to give to me.
Wait, they gifted you it? You mean, or like
no,
released it on your birthday?
Yeah,
right. Okay.
The game came out in like late August. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything in Speedrun Corner, or should we wrap it up? No,
nothing happened.
We're speedrunning the. I thought we were going to speedrun the podcast, but we've been going for an hour and a half, so it's kind of normal length anyway.
Oh well.
We started a bit early, so
yeah.
You can go back to your party, I suppose. Have a good time.
It's just through this door. There is a party.
Hello, party.
Yeah, you can't see it. Say hello, party.
Why would they say hello, party? They are the party.
Yeah, soon. Okay, yeah. Did you actually hear it?
No, I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, okay, whatever.
All right. Well, we shall end it there. Thank you guys for watching and listening, for those who listen. And we'll see you in a month's time, where I'll be at the end of my stream week and probably wanting to finish the podcast in 20 minutes because I'll be way too tired at that point. All right. I normally say, do you want to say goodbye, guys? But,
yeah, bye.
Only two of you left now. All right.
That's true.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.